worked for Tesla at nighttime. So I was trying to stay awake, and I downloaded this app. I fell in Bullis Gotti room. I didn't know nothing about a WACK100. So, bitch, I could never be a groupie when that nigga jumped in my room. I had a room called Cocktails with Meeka. I didn't know nothing about WACK100, never heard about him, never talked to him, never talked about him. He jumped in my room.
All right, we
because
got
I had a room with over 100
Meeka
people talking about Snoop
admitting
Dogg.
to
His
fucking
clout
WACK100.
chasing ass jumped in my room, bitch. He was clout chasing. Jumped in my room because I had heavy hitters in my room like God of Kings, like motherfucking Tribe Gangster. I had real niggas in my room like Hocus 4/5. I had those niggas in my room. I didn't know who fucking WACK100 was. Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking groupie to no nigga? That nigga came in my room.
Y'all, what does 48 mean?
I don't even know what 48 mean. Weird ass shit.
The first 48?
That's what I think when I hear 48.
Is that New York term? 48?
New York niggas in here. Come on, y'all. What's 48? What's that shit?
I never heard of that.
Weird ass nigga. Talking about that. Yeah. That nigga said that's what you get for fucking with groupies. Bitch, to be a groupie, you gotta know who a nigga is. I never knew who the fuck he was. That nigga was my fan before I was his fan. And that's on my kid's heartbeat, nigga. Know who the fuck he was. That nigga was a fan to me.
So by the time y'all hooked up, did you know who he was?
You said what, Big Juice?
By the time y'all start engaging and taking it off the app with each other, did you know who he was?
You didn't
know who he was.
Yeah.
But when y'all start engaging off the app, you knew who he was?
Yeah, so to be 100, because I'm going to keep it 100. By the time me and him had sex, I knew who he was, yes. But when he first started, courting me, no, I didn't know. I Googled him and shit like that. That's how I found out.
Fucking.
You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't jump in his back channel. He jumped in mine. He came in my room and saw what I was talking about. And then he jumped in my back channel. And then I was like, let me Google. I didn't even Google him until CEO Reek jumped in my back channel and was like, hey, I seen this nigga tear bitches down as fast as he built them up. So watch your back. Once CEO Reek told me that is when I Googled him. That's when I was like, oh, the nigga married. Oh, the nigga got this and that going on. You know what I'm saying?
So that's when I did it. Was it a business thing, or was y'all supposed to ride off into the sunset and be together, or
oh God,
was y'all just fucking what was it?
Okay, so look, to keep it 100 on my mama. So after I Googled the nigga, I found out who he was, right? I didn't know that he was so controversial. I just knew that he was a nigga that was tied into Suge Knight and he was married. That's all I got from the Google, right? So the shit that me and him was talking about before I Googled him and to after I Googled him, yes, we was talking about riding off into the sunset. I won't lie to you. That's what the conversations was. Riding off into the fucking sunset. I swear to God. And Rashio Reek was like, don't trust that nigga. He's this and this. He You feel me? And that's what it was. So that's why I was so game goofy, because I chose, as a bitch that's in love with the thought of being in love, a bitch that's in love with fairy tales and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, he loves me. He's not like that. And da-da-da-da. That's why I heard the voice recordings y'all heard and all of this bullshit. But at the end of the day, this nigga had other, once that nigga heard Dreas told him that, okay, so this how me and him, y'all, if y'all didn't know.
Uh-oh, here it goes. She gonna tell the truth. Y'all check it out.
Me and him was riding off into the sunset like Big Juice said. And then the nigga came on the app and he was jealous of a New York nigga that I was dealing with. Ooh. All you niggas know who the fuck that New York nigga is. I don't gotta say his name, right? What? So he was jealous of that about that nigga because once, like Juice just asked me, once I Googled the nigga, I found out he was married. So I was like, ooh, I don't want to gain feelings for a nigga that's married. So let me talk to somebody else so I can make sure I don't catch feelings for this nigga, because I'm a bitch I can't fuck without feelings. I can't deal without feelings. I'm gonna catch feelings, point blank, period. And I ain't too big to say it. I'm catching feelings. I can't do it without it. I'm a real woman. You feel me? So I was like, let me talk to this New York nigga, because this New York nigga really got me in a trance, for real. So I'm going to give my all to him, and I'm going to fuck with WACK to see what I can get. You feel me? That's where I was at the time, right? So then WACK came to me, and he was like, oh, you fucking with a New York nigga? I'm like, nigga, like all the West Coast nigga had, and Sleazy can attest to this, because Sleazy been in my room since day one, since I opened my room. Every West Coast nigga had a problem that I had a really, really genuine love for East Coast niggas. Mm-hmm. They all hated that, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a big fact.
And WACK hated that. WACK hated it. So when WACK came around, he was like, oh, you love these East Coast niggas, da-da-da-da, you supposed to be a West Coast bitch, you never let them niggas feel like, you know what I'm saying, you denouncing the West Coast for the East Coast, and I didn't give a fuck about none of that. I fuck with who I fuck with, you know what I'm saying? So then WACK, he found out I was fucking with the East Coast nigga, and I really liked him, right? And the nigga WACK he was sprung when I fucked him. He came to the app and started telling people, yeah, Meeka was fucking with a nigga in LA, and that nigga must have loved her. He must have loved her real good, because he left hickeys on her neck, and it was some love behind them hickeys. It was this and that behind them hickeys. You know what I'm saying? Sleazy, you was there, nigga. You was my moderator, if I can't remember.
Yeah.
On God. So the nigga was like saying all this shit, right? And I'm like, bro, like, why are you doing this? Like, you a married nigga. Like, I'm supposed to have my feelings in another nigga because you're married, right? So the nigga like, don't no nigga want his bitch to be involved with another nigga. So from there, I was like, oh, okay, so he calling me his bitch. He got me on three-way with his wife. He talking to the bitch like she ain't shit.
Wait, up. What you mean three-way with his wife? You were listening or talking?
Yes, Bree. I wasn't talking, but I was. I wasn't talking, but I was listening, right?
Oh, okay.
So he was talking to the bitch, and he was telling her shit like, okay, so it was his birthday. His birthday, April 7th, right? April 7th. So he was telling the bitch shit like, this the worst birthday I ever had. This bitch ain't put shit into it. She fucking a nigga from 6 soul. This is shit WACK telling me, right? So then he's telling me, he's like, it don't matter because this bitch ain't. The nigga start having me, Miss Bree, deadass. He started teaching me how to book his flights, how to book his rooms, and shit like that. Like, basically, he was grooming me to replace her. He was teaching me to do everything that she was doing, right? So he put me on three-way one time with his wife right after his birthday. And his wife like,
she's
I know you're going to leave me
get that comment
because the shit you saying is real foul. He like, bitch, first of all, this WACK saying it. He like, bitch, first of all, this birthday is a whack-ass birthday, but you ain't got to worry about it because you ain't going to be here for the next birthday, is what he told her. I was like, woo. You know what I'm saying? So WACK, after he hung up the phone with her on that, he started teaching me how to book his flights and shit. You know what I'm saying? He started teaching me how to do what she do. So, but he came back to the app. He started attacking me and my children, right? He started talking about, oh, you better stop beating on them kids, is the shit he said. You feel me? That's what made me start attacking him. Like, oh, nigga, for real? You trying to go at me like that, nigga? When you know what's the real program behind that? So I start going at him, right? So niggas start seeing me and WACK go back and forth. That's how it started, right? And then so, when people start saying like, you knew he was married, it's like, bitch, I knew he was married, but I also knew he was legally separated.
Wow.
He didn't want that bitch, and that bitch didn't want him. That bitch was dating other motherfucking niggas, and he was fucking other bitches. That's a fact.
That's
I knew
crazy.
every
So
bitch
they
that
had an
nigga
open
WACK was
relationship.
fucking. He showed me every picture of every bitch, all the shit. Like, that was really my ride or die at one point. You feel me? It was no secret that was kept from me at all. So a lot of people don't acknowledge
WACK was your ride or die?
At the time, Juice. At the time.
Guess what, Meeka? I used to be like, you was stupid because you ain't getting no. Was you getting money out the nigga? And I was like, at least get something the way he was bringing it back to the app, because you know he made everybody believe that you were lying about y'all fucking. And I'm like, and I always said, I was like, they fucking. You can tell that they are because of the things you would say. And I would be like, that ain't no shit. She ain't lying. That bitch, she's not lying about that. Like, it's like, look, let's get things he would say to you. And then when he started recording the phone conversation, he would make it one-sided. But Juice, like, damn, he get nothing out of it.
I mean, Juice, Bree, this the thing. So, but but before he started recording the phone calls, me and him was on good terms. So he wasn't recording nothing. He started recording the phone calls after he attacked my children, and when I announced on the internet, I said, tell your wife who gave me these hickeys on my neck. Because if anybody remember
that.
WACK100, right. So WACK100 was sprung as fuck. And he came to the app and he was like, oh yeah, Meeka had a nigga come to her room. He fucked the shit out of her. He gave her hickeys. And I was telling Wack, like, bro, you making me sound like a whore. You know, you making it sound like I had some random nigga come fuck me in a room when you know it was you. You know? And he was like, it don't matter what they think. It don't matter. He just wanted niggas not to be on me long as he knew it was him. You know what I'm saying?
Girl, that's a fucking manipulator.
That's a fact, India. That's a fact.
And he's master fucking manipulator. Did y'all
That's a fact. But Bree, if you remember any of it, then you remember what I'm talking about. That nigga came to the app. He was sprung as fuck. He didn't want nobody to be on my body. He wanted everybody to know that it was a nigga that gave me hickeys. And when that nigga attacked my children, because me and him had a disagreement, he came to the app and was like saying shit about my kids. And I was like, tell your wife who gave me these hickeys, bitch ass nigga. And after that, that's when everything started unraveling. So I couldn't get really nothing out of the nigga because he was the nigga that caught feelings so fast, Bree. Like,
so
that's what
before